Welcome back to the Pioneer Side. Now here at the Courthouse Case of the Week. It's been 20 years since the Pirates have had a winning season. That's pretty painful, but it's a new season. New hope as always. They open up this coming week on April 1st. Now, can the Pirates finally get above 500? I don't even want to hear playoffs. I want to hear above 500. We have Kyle Anthony, Phil Navatsik, and Kelsey Metzger. Guys, let's start here with Kyle. What happens this season? Please can the Pirates strike gold? Please, finally, for once.
No, they're going to false hope again. 21 straight losing seasons. I mean, I think their pitching's too inconsistent and just not enough out of the bats.
I'm sorry, Chris. I mean, let's not call a 500 season gold. I mean, that's stretching a little bit. I understand where you're coming. I understand where you're coming from. But I'm with Kyle here. Save up your money. Go buy the drinks because the losing streak is turning 21 this season.
Kelsey, I've heard negative, more negative. Please give me something positive. I need some positive vibes in here.
Well, I'm sorry. I have to call you guys out on your sissy arguments here. I mean, who would have thought two people would have called for 20 years of losing? They're going to guess another losing season. I'm going to make this at least somewhat of an argument and say that hopefully I think they will make 500. Can't promise much after that. I mean, we have seen 20 consecutive losing seasons. But, I think we can make 500. We don't need great stars here, guys. We just need average. So
throwing down the gauntlet, sissy arguments. What do you have to say? Come on now.
You don't believe that. Nobody believes that. Look, the Pirates have been terrible for the last 20 seasons. Why is this year going to be any different? Yes, they have Andrew McCutchen. He's a great player.
Hey, he made the cover of MLB.
He did, and congratulations. Well-deserved, by the way. I love Andrew McCutchen. He's a great guy. Unfortunately, it's a team sport. You got 8 other guys out there on the field with you, and with an inconsistent pitching staff like Kyle said, you need to clone Andrew McCutchen. That's what you need to do.
I mean, let's look at the cover. It could be like Madden. He could have a cursed season, just be awful and get injured.
Let's hope not.
Oh, jeez. No, the Pirates can't afford a cursed season here, Kyle.
But let's just look at the pitching staff. I mean, you have A.J. Burnett. Career inconsistency has just been the key word. James McDonald, he crashed and burned last year after he didn't make the All-Star game. Jason Grilly's taking a new role. Who knows how that's going to work? And then we got catching position. We have Russell Martin, who hasn't been good since he was a Dodger. Then we have the Fort, who inconsistency is his middle name.
But you have to look at that one. It's a little bit better than Rod Barajas, who batted 190 last season for the Pirates. Kelsey, give me a little bit more of this hope. The negativity here in this room, the bad vibes. Not
exactly. I mean, I think if you take a look at this team and you see that, maybe they're not great, or I'm sorry, I am saying 500, but they are by no means great. I think if you take a look at them, though, and they're good enough to get the 500 job done, and they're very useful, but they're progressing, and that's the key there. If they take these games, and they were only 2 below 500 or a couple games below 500 last year, and if you just learn from your mistakes that you made last year, those 1 or 2 or 3 games can easily be made up, and we just have to hope for that this year.
I mean, there's no Astros in the division this year. Let's look at this as a key fact. I mean, we don't get to play the Astros this year, and I mean, figure that's 12 wins right there down the drain. So, I mean, they're going way under 500.
Yeah, I mean, the Astros were the bottom feeder of the entire major leagues. So, I mean, losing those games against them really hurts the Pirates. The bottom line is that until there is some kind of salary cap in Major League Baseball that helps teams in small markets out like the Pirates, they are going to struggle to even get to that 500 mark, as we've seen for the past 2 decades.
In my opinion, I think you just have to spend money more. They do have some, but I'll let you guys. Kelsey, you want to say something?
Well, I mean, I think with the whole thing with the Astros is, they did feed on them last year and throughout the past years. But, I mean, you have to look at it as not each team is going to be the same last year. People didn't expect the Pirates to be 17 games above 500 last year at one point in the season at all. So, I mean, maybe the Astros would pick it up this year. Maybe some other teams will have some more slack on them, and maybe they can count on those other teams to come through. All I'm saying, guys, is that at some point they have to win.
And remember, guys,
it will happen at some point, and, some of us haven't been alive for a winning season, and I would like to see one.
It still is a watered-down NL Central. Like, the Cardinals, they lost some power bats. The Cubs are the Cubs, and the Brewers, they've lost some of their power bats too. So, I mean, you have to look at it. I mean, what do you think if the Pirates actually do have a chance at all maybe in this watered-down NL Central?
I mean, let's look at the Brewers. They just got Kyle Loesch, and I mean, that's another good pitcher who the Pirates were awful against last year, who's going from the Cardinals to the Brewers. I mean, things can't get much better. I mean, Pirates, they play awful when they go to Milwaukee. They struggle when they go to St. Louis, and the only place they're good is at the Cubs.
And that's where I cut it off there. I have to give Kelsey just some sort of default, I don't want to say win, but some sort of gesture of sticking through it, saying the Pirates are going to finish 500, being a little bit of a Pirates fan, and
Stay
just
positive. I
and
like
just
it.
taking on you two and just dropping the gauntlet there, just to sissy arguments, just throwing that down in the first minute there. Jeez. But that's going to do it all this week for the Pioneer Sideline. Join us next week. Same Pioneer channel, same Pioneer time, same Pioneer Sideline.